What's up? This voting shit is over. Come on, tap in. Got something to say. A little bit, you know. Tired of this gun violence, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. I can't do the things I used to do to help try to prevent it. But I've always had a voice in it, so I'm gonna continue to have one. If for nothing else, but my own children, their livelihood, their safety. So tap in. It's time to quit playing with Facebook, YouTube, all these little social sites. You know what I'm saying? The voting is over, so it's time to give you what we need. It's time for people to tap in. It's time to start sharing this because no one's sharing this information. If you know somebody that's against gun violence in our communities, man, tag them to this post. When I start going live from now on, I'm gonna give you what it is I think is going on in our communities. Most first and foremost, I definitely am going to do more conversations with my daughter and her friends. But tap in, this is different. Tap in. No one cares for what I'm saying, what I got to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it needs to be said. So, you know, um, to my guy, Black Ike, you know who you is. My condolences to you, man. I love you, man. If I can help, holla at me, inbox me. We'll go from there. Um, that's one of the things that's burning in me right now. I have a few friends in different situations, but I'm the type of person that would love to help, would love to do things, regardless of whatever it would be. You know, and I realize that some of my friends have lost their child, and I know people that if they lose their child, they're gonna go crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I would be all for it because of the circumstances. Like losing your child, if you're gonna give your life up, you're gonna give your freedom up. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna do anything that is out to harm somebody, it should be for the protection and the love of somebody. It shouldn't be just out of anger or ignorance. So with that being said, I need people to tap in. Come on, tap in, share this, man. Trust me. This needs to be come the norm, man. You know what I mean? Learning this excuse me if I'm a little loud, learning this internet stuff. If my volume is a little too loud, please tell me in the comments. I can see it. Hey Wall, what's up? Yeah, yeah, like I said, I need to get you on here. We could talk like this, man. But moving forward, there's really no one on here on this internet giving it to you like this. And trust me when I say like this, because there's a lot of things that I could say. There's a lot of things I could talk about. But majority of my conversation is going to be stuck on what's needed in our communities and in the ways that we can help build better lives around us. You know what I'm saying? And on this here internet, I noticed something learning it. That's what I was saying. Excuse me. I noticed something. We give energy to a lot of things, and we give time to a lot of things, to where we can't. We suffer from insomnia. Insomnia, from what I understand it, and the way I understand it, is just restlessness, meaning the man can't calm down, the man can't quit thinking. I'm talking like this until I see that I got a couple viewers. Then I'm gonna go full fledged. But I don't have enough viewers on here to give you what I'm trying to give you. So I'm just making conversation. So at the meantime, with that being said, I'm gonna move forward. Um, I kind of forgot what I was saying. Excuse me for that. But on this here internet, I realized what makes a lot of money. What how do you make money on the internet? That's what I I set out to do, because I don't really want to make money, but I realized in order to achieve what I'm trying to do or achieve the way I see this, I have to learn the algorithm, and the algorithm is generating money. So I got to figure that out. So one of the things that I learned, the internet makes a lot of money on, and it's retarded. Actually, it is the most lucrative hashtag on the internet, and it's ASMR. And I went and looked that up, and I'm like, wow, I'm blown away to the idiocy of people. I cannot understand why people are so. I don't really want to give people a bad vibe, because I'm not trying to talk about you. I'm not trying to give you a bad idea or bad understanding. But ASMR, that's just people getting on here making sounds and whispering and things of that nature. That's not helping us. That's not saving my community. That's not helping me save my child. The only way we can do these things, the only way we can make our communities better is by changing the narrative. You got to change the narrative, and it ain't gonna happen overnight. I get it. So that's why I'm gonna tell you, like, comment, share, because you got to start putting this idea in people's minds. You got to start showing the world that you want to see different, that you want to be different, and that you need it to be different for your children. No, this ain't something everybody wants to hear. I get that. No, this ain't something everybody wants to deal with. I get that. Trust me. But it doesn't stop needing to be said. It doesn't stop needing to be heard, no matter who's listening. Excuse me for that. Hold on one second. Uh, My bad. I forgot to shut my door. I'm in my room chilling. But anyway, the things that we give attention to play out in real life. Like, we give our attention to the movies, it plays out in real life. What you see in a movie, someone is in a lab designing. That's where the last time I did the live video, I got to talking about, what I'm saying, Iron Man. You think somebody's not really sitting around trying to figure out how to create that suit in real life? You're retarded. It's the things that you think create life. If we understand that, then let's change the things that we think. Because when we bury our children, we think, how could we have made things different? How could we have done things different? But if you keep doing the same thing, how things gonna change? Our children are going back and forth to jail. Our children are part of a construct that needs to change. But everything we are a part of is designed for that. Everything we are a part of designed for that. I mean, look at it this way. The elders are not the promoters of life. The elders are not those who share wisdom. The elders are not the leaders of life. We too busy twerking, hanging in the club, promoting death. And that's a self-reflection. That's a reality. I mean, I just was in a bar. I ain't saying it's always a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is the type of music that they play in them bars is what rile you up. You go to a bar, you get high, you get drunk, you listen to deaf music and pop the coochie music. When you leave the club, you on deaf music and pop the coochie music. And that's how it turns out. So when you go to the club and somebody get killed, what do you think was supposed to be the outcome? You speak death in certain places, death happens. You speak death in certain ways, death happens. When you think death, death happens. So you mean to tell me we can continue listening to the music we do, keep talking the way we do, keep being the way we are, and life's going to change? We're going to save our children and keep our children from dying? That's bullshit. You're lying to yourself. If you think that what you do is okay for the rest of the world, then it is. I can't knock you for that. But how is that going to save your child? Because he's not going to listen to you. He's going to listen to what society is upon. He's going to listen to what society is set on. And that's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm on here. I don't care if I get any views. I really don't. It's just time. Excuse me. My bad. It's just time to be different than what we used to. And I hate to say it. I really do. Because when I say this, I got to say this with a self reflection. What, what did I have to do with what's going on out here? I had a lot to do with it. I didn't realize where people looked up to me when I was in the streets. I didn't care. I was in the streets. I was doing what niggas in the street do. But then I realized that wasn't nothing I ever really wanted to do, and I'm trying my best now to keep from being the same nigga, no matter what. Because I realized my role in life. I'm 40 plus years old, you know. So like I said, it's time to start sharing this. It's time to show that you care for life somewhere, even if it's just for 2 seconds. Get us some attention, give us some thought, create the conversation. Change the things that you see, change the things that you do to some extent. I ain't saying become different overnight, but realize how you feed the negative and slow it down, tone it down, bring it back. The only time we really care for anything, or the only time we get together, is when we go in and bury our children. That's okay with you. That's okay with the world. That's okay to people. I don't understand how that's okay. I don't think I am supposed to understand how that's okay. When I went through my timeline yesterday, I was very sad. I was saddened because I see people I care about losing their children. And I envision that thinking, what if it was me? I set out my whole life to save my children. And I look back and I think, what if it was me burying one of mine? I would lose my mind. Real talk. It's just how and why or what I would do with it. But I can't really want to lose my mind if I know I'm at fault. Because before I go moving forward with out of anger, that's what I'm gonna think. Who's at fault? And I'm gonna be at the top of the list. I am. Before I want to do something to somebody, that's how I'm gonna think. That's how I've always thought. Like what the problem is. Like where everything went wrong. Let me make sure before I give up my freedom in my life, I'm doing what I want to do. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Like it takes you to sit down and look at your friends and self-reflect. Because when they burying their child to gun violence, that could have been yours. That could be yours. In fact, it is yours. Because yours is coming next. Maybe mine. Because mine is coming next. I hate to say it, but just fucking reality. It needs to be said. Because when you think that way, you think, how can I change the narrative? How can I stop it from happening? Because as a parent, you set out to make life beautiful for your children. You give up all your energy, all your time to get them to respect and love you because of the things you do for them. But what do you really do for them? You can't stop what influences them, but you can change it. That's the difference. If the rap music is influencing them, then change the music. Change the way you use the music. That's simple. But no one wants to hear that. No one wants to talk about that. No one wants to be a part of what is reality. You gotta wanna do better, man. Like the elders, man, and the elders is really, the grandmas, man. And I'm gonna say it this way: you, as a elder or as a grandparent of any sort, should not want to bury any of your children, any of them. And just because your child may have grown up cool, I know a lot of people, their children grow up right, but then their grandchildren get killed. You still drop the ball. I mean, your children. I don't care. It's time to be accountable. It's time to change the fucking narrative. Excuse my language, but it's necessary. It's time to change the narrative in our neighborhoods. It's gotta stop. We give time and attention to everything. I'm on this here internet and got one view, talking the way I am. That's retarded. That's why no one talks like this, because it's not popular. I'm not doing this to be popular. I'm doing this to save a life, mainly my own children and my grandchildren, because I see how my children are, and no, they follow behind me. So am I to think that my grandchildren are not going to follow behind them? That's retarded. To this day, I've always had a voice against gun violence. It's not going to stop. And I've never felt for one day or 2 days or a week. I feel this way every day. I think this way every day. And it's got to become a norm. I realize that I have a voice people will listen to. So I'm trying to get you to listen to it. I love to help people in life. I love to help encourage people in life. In fact, I've encouraged so many people. A few come back and tell me, man, that's the greatest feeling in the world to know what I said help you think for yourself. Because that's all it takes. Sometimes you just need to hear more positive things to know that the positive is actually capable of happening, let alone happening to me. Because, see, a lot of people don't understand that. Like, a lot of people don't know these things. The life is capable of being great. But when we bury our children, or we watch our friends bury their children in sadness and in awe, we wish we could have done more, but we don't do more. That's the point. The conversation's only for them 2 weeks. 2 weeks of pain. 2 weeks of acknowledging the pain, should I say. I haven't seen it last really too much longer, maybe a month. But that's sad because it's just reoccurring. It's just reoccurring. And what it's reoccurring from is the reflection we give it in the mirror. We give it death in the mirror. We speak it into existence. We listen to it in existence. We thrive it into existence. As a world, as a planet, we accept these things because we indulge in these things. We think we get up, we go to work, that's our life. But we still turn on, I'ma kill you and I'ma pop this coochie. Think about it. I listen to it, but I know I listen to it and I know what it does up here. And that's the thing. Most people don't know what it does up here. We just tack it on like, oh, it ain't nothing, it's just music. No, it's a part of your DNA. It becomes a reflection of what it is that you're giving it to. That's where they tell you they put labels on bottles of water and put and fed it to plants. They put hate on one and the plant died. They put love on the other. The word is powerful. Words are very powerful. We know this. So change the way you speak, change the way you talk, change the way you think, change some of the things that you indulge in. Because if you don't, it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue. That's only facts. Gun violence in our communities is out. Man, it's so much I want to say. It's so much I think. But I realized something. The attitude I had being a part of it. Because, see, I realized I loved a lot of people I wasn't supposed to. And in that position, I've done a lot of things I wasn't supposed to for people I wasn't supposed to do them for. That's where I learned to change my life. But I also understand that a man stood on business. So if it was something I meant to do to you, I did it. Wasn't no question. If there was something I wanted, I went and got it. Wasn't no question. What I want now, it's not a question. I want my children to grow up safe. I want my children to have a chance at life. I want my children not to give up their freedom to chase the idealism of this here internet. And if that's what I want, then I got to be the person that set the tone because I'm that type of man. That man don't exist no more. That man ain't gonna accept the bullshit. Just to put it bluntly, the man that knows how to go and get what he wants. Because that's what it takes out here. A father to bring safety back to our communities. Because women have been raising children for too long. The community has been led by women for too long. I'm giving you your props. Women, you are beautiful. Thank you for raising us. Thank you for giving us life. Thank you for everything you've done for us. But it's time for men to be men again. It's time for men to stand up and say, no, no more. Instead of sitting there saying, man, he knows his son like that, or she knows her son like that. You know it too, motherfucker. What you gonna do about it? Because when you want something, you go and get that. I want this new car. I'm gonna go get that. I want that new song. I'm gonna download that. I want this new person in my life. I'm gonna go indulge over there. The things you want in life, you do. The one thing we want in life we don't do is change the narrative in our neighborhoods, change our communities. That doesn't make sense to me. It's said that we love the things that destroy us. You right. My God, you so right. You so right, man. That's why I'm on here. That's I had to learn it to its totality before I can give you what I think. But that's what I'm gonna show the world how I think. Cause the way I think like a street nigga. Cause I'm always gonna have that in me. But I'm just gonna learn to do what niggas do, learn to apply it in other ways, in other situations. You capable of it. You just got to learn to talk more about it, speak more life, listen to things that give more life. I ain't got no viewers on here. I'm on 2 different streams with no viewers. That's crazy to me. But then again, I'm okay with that because that just goes to show I got more work to do to achieve my goal. So believe me, now that I learned it to I needed to learn it, you're gonna see a lot more of this. So like, comment, share, #9. Because I know you ain't got time to really give this energy. So like it and share it. Because the more it's heard, the more it becomes the conversation, the more it becomes a norm, the more it becomes what people need and understand, the more it becomes things we energize and live by. And that's what I'm here to do. Give you reasons to speak more about life, to give you more reasons to have a part of speaking in life to the youth. Because right now, the youth run the world, and that ain't the way it's supposed to be. The youth run the world, and the elders follow behind it. Tell me where I'm lying, excuse me. Tell me where I'm lying. Tell me. I need somebody in the comments. Tell me something I said that was wrong. I know you on here. Look at the viewers, though. Look at how many shares I got. But I bet you if I was on here rapping or fighting, I bet you that. I bet you if I ASMR is this. That's what ASMR is. It is the most lucrative hashtag on the planet. That's retarded. That's what that is. But people use it to sleep or be encouraged. No, that ain't what you need. What you need is for the world to speak more life into you, and maybe you could see it for yourself. Because that's the problem. We all suffer somewhere. If you mentally suffer from politics, we just went through that. I've been waiting for politics to be over to give you this because that was your greatest distraction. Now there's nothing to distract you from what you need the most, what your universal dream is peace. But that's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen at all if we don't change the things that we indulge in. Like I said, look at it, man. I've been on here for how long? How many viewers I got? How many comments do I have? Better yet, here's a better question. How many people going to bury their children today, tomorrow, this week from gun violence? That's a question. And I'm quite intrigued and really want to answer that question. I just might. I might find the details to the answer to that question. In fact, if you want the answer to that question, hit me in the comments. I bet you by the end of the week, I'll have the answer. Because that's what I'll do. I'll look it up by the end of the week and see how many people around the world died from gun violence in our communities. That's all I'm concerned with. My race, my kind. But I'm talking to everybody. Don't think I'm on here just trying to promote me being black. No, because it's a universal problem. It plagues us all one way or another. There's wars going on. That's what I'm saying. The reality of life that we live speaks death. Everything about it speaks death. That shouldn't anger people who lost their children, because that was one of the reasons why. I'm just being honest. And you got to admit it to yourself, whether you lost a child or not. That's all. Come indulge in reality, because that's what I'm going to give you. I'm not going to give you a feeling about a thing. I'm going to give you what I understand and what that means to the whole, the community. Because that was the community that I was raised up in. That was the community I was raised up in. Community I was raised up in, we knew not to do certain things as youngsters, man, because of what the elders would say, the elders would think. Man, we gang, man. People would act like they didn't know where Belsuver was, yo. Meanwhile, the South Side was tearing it up. People know I ain't lying. Belsuver and St. Clair had shit going on every day. Arlington, and we used to get it cracking. The mentality of the South Side, we used to get it cracking. But that's what I'm saying. We respected our elders to a certain extent, to a certain point, because they gave us something to respect. They demanded it, man. We old now. We not demanding it. We okay with it. No, it's time to be a reflection of what we saw, what we learned, and who we was. It's time to be a reflection of that which came before us. It's time to change the narrative. It's time to change what we think. This is going to be a long walking road for me. I get that. I'm cool with that. I know you're not going to really care, but I'm going to be on here. So, like, comment, share, #9. I know that people only got the time and the mind frame to just keep scrolling. You're in a rush, man. The internet is making you live in a rush mentally. You're not even paying that no attention because you scroll so much. Like not, I learned that, and if you truly want to understand that, then look at it this way. I learned that right by watching babies with cell phones and tablets, and realizing how they figure out to make them work. But I also realize what they're learning too. So understand that this is dangerous, but they're learning to be impulsive because if it's not what they want, they quickly scroll. Sometimes you got to deal with what you don't want, but they're not learning that. That's where that becomes dangerous. They're not learning that because in life, you got to learn to deal with things that you don't want. I mean, that ties into street balance, right? Because if you do something I don't like or I didn't want, there's a backlash to that. That's just the infant stage where you're scrolling. That's all that is. It's reality, man. It's how you see it. It's how you envision it. It's how you dream it to life. And in truth, we don't. The TV, the cell phone, and everything we indulge in do. I just saw something on Kodak Black. I was appalled, mainly because it got so much attention because he was under the influence, not because he's a young man lost. And it was saddening to me to see someone of so much influence was zooted. And I know the youth was sitting around laughing like, I'm gonna be like that later. That's the fucking problem. Because they see enjoyment in it. In fact, that's what music speaks. Popping pills, shooting people, drinking, smoking weed, having sex. He's speaking death into existence. If we understand we can speak things into existence, then understand you hear things into existence too. Let that sit in. Set in, excuse me. Because the things you hear, you tend to speak about. Tell me where I'm lying in the comments. This is reality. This is real talk. You don't want to hear it. I understand. I ain't mad at you. But I know that I'm going to try to do everything I can do to change the narrative. And this just happens to be one of them. I'm not one of those want to be seen out there in the streets when something happens that tries to speak life to youth. That's that's not who I am. That's not what I do. When I see the youth, I speak life to them. You know, you ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that, man. You know, stay out of trouble if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. The more people speak life to life, the more life gets created. But the more life can be create full. Because right now all we speak is death and life is dying. Come on now. Tell me where I'm wrong. Somebody. But then again, I don't got no viewers. Who's going to tell me I'm wrong? Eh, this doesn't get views. This doesn't get talked about. This is not your norm. This is the problem. I mean, come on, think about it. Why is this not your problem? When I get off of here, you're gonna go turn on Cardi B or something of the sort. I mean, I get it. You're in your car. You need go music. Change the go music though. Change what's popular, man. You got the power to do that. You, you got the chance to help save a life with a like, a comment, and a share. Simple, but it's the truth. And if you find this at any point, the truth, like, comment, share, hashtag nine. That's all I ask. Hashtag nine. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard, man. Because we need more people to talk like this. We need everybody pays attention to Charleston White. Charleston White is a great guy. I think so. I love the way he talks. I might not like the way he acts, but I love the way he talks because I know he's genuine. You know, he really was one to speak against gun violence. And like he said, no one's paying that attention. And he does this when he says it. Yeah, and he's right. Look how many viewers I got. Excuse me, I tend to like get emotional and speak in different tones. I apologize for that. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's what you need. And everybody likes his shit. But the only reason why everybody likes his shit is because of his antics. That's where I find him to be more intriguing because he's tapped into something. He's understanding something. Somebody needs to say these things. And like I said, I'm not on here for no attention. I'm on here trying to save my own child's life. Truth, I am. Male or female, because innocent little girls get killed every day. I'm a father. That's not okay with me. I'm a man. That's not okay with me. And I can't influence my children on my own. In fact, you can't either. That's just real talk. So I need your help to achieve my goal to love my children properly. That's what this is for. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't want to be on the internet to get rich. If it happens, so what? I don't care for money. Never have, never did. I got on here with the idea of leaving something for my children behind, and that is a better life. And I mean children, I mean my grandchildren, because my children are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. It's embedded in them. I can't really stop that design. I was a part of that design. That's the truth of it all. But I realize it takes me to be able to say it, to change it. And I know I ain't the only one that thinks like this. And I know that I can't be or continue to be the only normal person trying to speak like this on this here internet. So it's time to make this the norm. It's time to make this what gets your attention. Normally, when I get on here, I'm off of here like this because I don't care for attention. I'm not an attention seeker. I'm an empath. I tack on people's feelings and emotions. The only difference is I know what to do with the information as an empath. That's where I've spoke life to so many people and encouraged them to change their life. And I'm going to continue to do so because I care for people genuinely. And when I love hard, but I love demandingly. I don't love with questions. That's how you treat the person you sleep next to, but you don't treat your child that way. Excuse me. That's where I keep saying, like, you got expectations for your spouse that you don't have for the government. Stars, there's a correlation of them. That means they work together. They're there to get together. They exist together. It's the correlation of people, but we don't work together. How do we get there? If no one is on this internet speaking that way, and as far as I could tell, no one's on here talking universal peace, but this here internet reaches the world. Why not? That's where I made this statement. This generation has such power no generation in history has ever had, and that's such knowledge and wealth at the same time. I mean, think about it, then repeat it to someone else. Make it your own statement. I don't want to be the first to say it. I don't care for none of that. I don't want no recognition. I want to say something that you can take and run with because that's what's needed. Idealism. That's it. That's what they put on this TV, idealism. But as you can tell, Iron Man was an idea until you got Elon Musk. Tell me where I'm lying in the comments. Tell me. Come on. But then again, like I said, I don't get no views. I ain't getting no views. Ain't nobody sharing this. What I'm saying right now, I should have 100 people on here. What, I got one or two? But that's okay. I understand it's going to take time. So you're going to see more of me. I had to step into my zone, learn how to not be shy in front of the camera, because that's a fear, really. And I don't work with it. Also, I had to learn exactly what I was doing to be able to be me. Because see, the way I'm talking to you now, I just was in a bar. And the entire night, this is how I spoke with everybody. And everybody speaks this way with me. So why shouldn't I get on this here internet and say, put your gun down, young man, put your gun down? What else should I talk about? There's a lot, trust me. But as of right now, what else should I talk about? Because like I said, Sunday, I'm on my phone, Sunday, scrolling through my timeline. And forgive me if I haven't replied or something, but yeah, scrolling through my timeline. And all I see is death. And a few of them are people that I know. And everybody didn't die from gun violence, but it was just sad to me that no one's speaking against this on this here internet. Everything we promote is death. That's tiring me. That's no longer okay with me. And if it's no longer okay with you, like, comment, share, #9. Please, by all means, if you know someone that speaks against gun violence, I'll pull them up on my live. Either or. That's why I really got the mic set up. We can do this. So if you on my Facebook and not on my YouTube, what you say will be heard through the live. You might not be seen, but you'll be on different apparatuses. Come on now. Because this got to be your norm. Speaking life, man. Nothing else. Excuse me for that. But nothing else, man. Even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, speak it into existence. Because the next generation behind you will take it and run with it if you put it out there. That's the way life has been showing you it works. Evolution. And I say you evolve until you dissolve. Come on. Tell me where I'm lying. In any of my comments, hashtag like, comment, share, #9, excuse me. #9 is infinite. 9 is infinite. That's what that is. Love is the only thing there is, man. Love creates energy. Positive energy anyway. And hate creates negative energy. We know this. So give it energy. #9. Give it energy. That's what I'm asking you to do. Give it energy. Give this conversation energy. Let's make this the norm. To demand a better world for your children, let's make this the norm. Let's get more people on here. Come on now. Like I said, how many viewers I got, man? None. Couple. Excuse me. I got a few. What I got? I can't see. Oh, I got one. I had two, but I got one. Sorry if I discouraged you. But that's what I'm saying. The reason why I care for the viewers is because I'm trying to reach more people. And the reason why I'm trying to reach people at all is because I'm trying to get these little niggas to put their guns down. Excuse my language. But I can't do that on my own. And I can't jump up and save every community, every neighborhood. I can't do that. But what I can do is use this apparatus here to change the narrative of the life around me. Because the people I know are going to be the people to see this most. But then again, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to be the ones that like, comment, and share. Hashtag now, for the most part. Some those that love me will, because they know this is me. So I can't take that from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Some people may share. Some people will. There's no question in that. So I don't want to. I need to talk differently. Forgive me for that. But that's that. See, that's the type of person I am. When I'm thinking something, I self-reflect on it instantly. That's being accountable, man. In every aspect of my life, I've learned to be accountable. Whether it's relationships, whether it's my children, whether it's talking to my mom. I don't care for nothing negative around me. I only care for what's positive. But I'm tired of opening up my, excuse me, Facebook and internet things and seeing so much death on my timeline. And I'm speaking to my timeline because on my timeline, there's so much death on there. This person lost a child. That person lost a child. But look on here and see how many viewers I got. Look on here and see how many likes I got. And then when you get out here, pay attention later on to the negatives that you gave time to. And think about how much time you gave this. Because that's where the negative continues. That's how it continues. You go to sleep with that negative in your head. You wake up with that negative in your head, and your day promotes that negative. And each day resembles the last. That's doing the same thing, understoodly, right? Unconsciously, though. That's where it turns up in the world. That's why you have so much death in the world, because it's lucrative. We know this. It's lucrative. It's about a bag. Here's a quote. Even a killer will tell you the truth on it. Killers don't want to be killers. They really don't. If you know a cold-blooded killer and he's cool with you, ask him, man. Ask him, how can I put the question? Oh, yeah, let's just make it simple. Do you wake up with killing someone on your mind? They tell you no. Just better not fuck with me. Tell me where I'm lying. Somebody, anybody. So if that's the case, then why is there so much killing in our communities? Once again, it's the time and the energy we give to death. This is not your norm. It's time to make it your norm. So hold yourself accountable for not liking, commenting, and sharing to at least one person speaking like this. It's simple, man. It's not costing you nothing to allow me to talk like this for you. Because everybody don't know how to talk like this. I get it. That's why I'm on here. To help you with that. Because I know how to talk to the youth. They listen to me. And I wish, at some point I will get up and show you my interaction around the community. But before I can do that, I'm gonna bring it to you on this here apparatus. Hopefully, time, God willing, if you think, however you think. I'm not always gonna say things that you like, but I'm gonna say things that are necessary. So I don't care if you like them, because I'm a man trying to achieve a goal, and I demand that of myself. I am not begging you to share this. I'm asking you to share it. Share life. That's what you're going to be doing. Share what you want your son to hear. Share it. That's all this is. Give this energy. I'm going to do it more. Like I said, I had to learn it. Like I had to learn over my little fear of being in front of cameras, not liking to be in front of cameras. Because that's really what it was. I never cared for it because I don't care for attention. But here I am. Here I am. And the reason why I'm here is because I want to save my own children. So help me with that. Share it for nothing else. Share it so my children see it on their internet. Does that make sense? Like, comment, share, #9. It's not that hard. But the more you make something like this the norm, the more the community can change. That's where it makes sense. That's where it makes sense. It's a, it's common. Well, it's common sense, I guess. But you're gonna go to that funeral this week, next week, tomorrow, next month, next year, burying your children and wondering why it won't stop. Come on, you're at fault. Accept your own blame. I'm gonna accept mine because see, I was one that created the destruction. Like I said, I didn't realize that so many people looked up to me in my youth. If they knew who I was, they wouldn't have looked up to me. I was fighting for survival as a child. I wasn't gang banging because I wanted to. I was gang banging because I was proving to myself I could survive. Guess what I did though? I survived. What am I going to do with that knowledge? Give it to your ass. That doesn't deserve to be liked, commented, shared, #9. You out your fucking mind. Excuse my language, but like I said, it's necessary. Come on. I know you may not have time in your day to think like this. I do. So let me help you with that. Like, comment, share. Because until we speak life, until we think on the same chord, there will always be destruction. There will always be destruction. There will always be people making money off of death. Since you chasing a bag, that's where chasing a bag gets you. There's more to this here. There's so much more to this here. And I'm going to give you a value effort. I'm trying to help you in your community. You know, um, what's the podcast? What's the dude's name? What is it, Gilly? I love the way Gilly speaks. And if you look at it, man, Gilly been right when he talked to a lot of people, including Young Thug, on how them niggas ain't your friends. Matter of fact, that is really what I wanted to get on here and talk about. So let's talk about it. This is the part the youth need to hear the most. Well, everybody really, because I want you to see this design because of the power that's in your hand. The feds play, young man. They let you get on this here internet and they let you do what you want to do on this here internet, knowing they're gonna come and get you at some point. State, county, they do it too, but mainly the feds. I've come across some kid, a bunch of kids on the internet that are on the internet showing and promoting violence, having shootouts on their little videos and screaming in front of the police. How they just did that. As the police ride by, they on camera. You're going to jail. No one told you that. They might not come get you right now, but the sooner they see it, they're gonna build a case on you. You're going to jail. That's just real talk. You get on this here internet doing dumb things like that, they build a case against you. You're going to jail. I noticed that some of these kids couldn't have been no older than 12, but they riding, speeding in cars, and all they keep doing is showing their guns, showing their guns, showing their guns. I saw this over the weekend as I'm scrolling through my timeline, looking down at some of my friends losing their children and wondering how we got here. That's how we got here. That's how we got here. In fact, it's getting worse. In the next 10 years, if we keep looking at things like that on the internet, imagine what it's going to be like in the next 10 years. Excuse me. We're not thinking like that. But here's a better question, right? They got books. I'm doing a podcast right now where they got books. I'm working on this right now. They got books where in school they promote sexuality to where they got stories of youth performing oral sex on themselves. Oh, well, not on themselves, on each other, excuse me. Imagine where that's going to be in 10 years if you allow it to continue. I only reference that to show you what I'm saying here about these little kids on this internet toting these guns. And I looked at the views they got. It's crazy. But I only get 5 viewers, 10 viewers. That's okay. Because I'm gonna work hard at getting you to think differently. Because I'm gonna put in effort to allow your child to hear something differently. And yes, I know what I said, and I know why I said it that way. Because differently is an action. But I need your help with that action. Because, like I said, I'm trying to save my own child's life. So, for no other reason, like, comment, and share it so they can see it and hear it. Because I ain't on all my kids' social medias, just like some of y'all ain't. But this type of conversation, this type of speaking has got to be the norm. I mean, if a man don't teach boys how to be men, how does it work? Right? Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me that. Tell me where a person has lost a child and it didn't burn a hole in your heart and you moved on with promoting the destruction of life. Show me. I'm waiting. Because you keep doing the same things, right? So when you're doing the same things continue to happen. That's just evidentiary. And I don't know what else to do with this information. I can't take it with. So I'm gonna leave it behind. And I ain't saying that I'm dying. Shit, I plan to live for 10, 20 more years. And I'm gonna work hard at it. Because not only am I trying to save my child's life, I'm trying to save my grandchildren's life and their children's life. See, so when I'm gone completely from existence, meaning the generations that know me, when when I'm no longer spoke about, like you have a great great granddad that you might not have never known of, that don't really matter to you no more, but society creates that norm around them, that generation of my children, because they still be my children, wouldn't they be? Right? Because the lineage don't stop, just the ideal of the lineage do. But I'll show you where that plays out in our communities today. Excuse me. You get families that kill each other because they don't know each other. They don't have respect for each other. Reality is a hard pill to swallow. Man. The biggest reality is death. And I notice it's a hard thing for people to accept, both the death of themselves and others. In fact, the reflection of self dying is the hardest thing to accept. That means not just you, though. When I say self, I meant you and your child. If you're still on here, think about how many friends you know have buried their child. And what would what the outcome was. And I ain't talking court system. I'm talking about the change in reality in our communities. Because we get out there and we'll march for a week, a month, a couple days. We hold rallies. We have institutions in our communities set up to do a job they don't do. And I will admit, for some people in those jobs, it's not for a lack of trying. That's very few. Trust me. And even in some of those that do, they stagnate the situation behind selfish gains and needs. Oh, I'm gonna talk the shit you don't want to hear, but it's reality. So I don't care if you want to hear it, because until we are capable of dealing with reality, it's not going to change. Until you can deal with the way I talk and the things that I'm talking about become your norm, it's not going to change. And I ain't saying, you know, I'm trying to be something I'm not. I'm recording. Give me a minute. See what I'm saying? I'm in my room. Excuse me for that. But I'm coming to you as I am. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm sitting in my house amongst my children where they can hear me speak like this. Yes, I am. It's probably my son want my attention now. But then again, I'm not his friend on Facebook. I need to be, but I don't need to be really, but I need to be just because I talk like this. But then again, he gets this type of conversation from me, whether he wants to hear it or not. I'm just not in the physical fitness form where I can chase him around. Nor do I think I got the energy either. So I'm on here. Let's talk. Come on now. Interact with me. Let me sit forward because I can't see. So if you've been on here and comment and saying certain things, I apologize. But I had to lock into what I was thinking. You know, the choices we made as elders, we don't want to see our children make. But how do we change the norm with the wisdom that we have being an elder? Excuse me. Because until we realize that, we don't realize the power that we have as elders. 40 some years old. Yeah, I'm an elder to somebody. And I will forever be their elder. If you're 19, you're an elder to somebody. So you have a responsibility to somebody behind you, is what that's saying. Change the narrative. Come on. Like, comment, share, #9. Let's go. I don't be on here. Normally, when I'm on here on. I think the longest I've ever been on here is the one time. And I ain't going to keep mentioning it. So you either know or you don't. Go to my page. It's on there. Go see how much I really like being on the internet. And compare it to how much you about to see me. Because the narrative has got to become this. The narrative has got to be put your gun this down. All that, anything else in life, go enjoy life. Go do life. I don't really care what you do. But the guns, put them down. Some of the music, put it down. Some of the alcohol, put it down. Some of the pills, put them down. If you can't walk away from it, you're addicted. That fits so many aspects of life, including money. If you can't walk away from it, you're addicted. And shouldn't nothing mean more to you than your own children? Not even your vote. I mean, think about it. Some people gave more attention to the vote than they do their own children. I said it. It's the truth. I don't care if you want to hear it or not. It's the truth. I'm going to say it. I was talking to somebody, man. Well, excuse me, no. I was talking to a family member of mine and his son, and I cried because he was like, his son in the streets and shit. At the time, I didn't realize I was crying because I was just in an emotional state within myself. I thought I was crying because it's his family, and I love family, but I didn't want to cry. You know what I mean? So that's just the reality I had came to. That I was in a terrible emotional state. I had to get over that. But now that I'm over it, I realized that I need to go back and attack that because I'm not trying to show up at my little cousin's funeral. Like, nah, fuck that, man. Nah, that's not okay with me. I'm not trying to show up at my own son's funeral. But you mean to tell me I don't get no comments, no likes, no shares? And for those that did, thank you very much. But you know what I'm saying? I'm really adamant on this. And I'm hoping to be able to say something to somebody that can help you, you know? I want you to see the beauty in life because I learned to understand what I think beauty is. And beauty is love. It's just the understanding that you give it makes the difference. Because that's where you find things beautiful that I don't. But I know what we all would find beautiful and grow up in the world without having to worry about being sexually molested, being kidnapped, being shot. We have got to do better within our communities. It's just time, man. Like, comment, share, #9. It's just time. And these things have got to become our norms. Speaking life into the world has got to become your norm. So it ain't costing you nothing to like, comment, share. And the only thing I'm saying, like I said before, #9. It's just infinite. It's love, man. Love is infinite. Hate is infinite. It's the -9. I mean, I would hope most people do know you add in both directions, both positively and negatively. I mean, think about it in a car battery. Energy exists. See, what the positive does, it goes through everything. What the negative does, it accepts it and reverts it back to the positive. That's life. Did you understand that that's the evolution of life? That's how children are born, if you heard it right. And I'm telling you, that's what the power of the word has the ability to do. We notice there's great power in words. Well, use them or use mine. It's time that it stops. The rappers are being killed and killing people. It's time to stop. The rappers are sexually excuse me, molesting people. Not a laughing matter, so I wasn't laughing at what I said. I was laughing the way I said it. I don't want nobody to go get in a bunch because I said something I found was funny. That was it. But it's just truth, man. It's just being able to see life. And a lot of people are not looking at life to see it in the whole. We're looking at it in selfish means, meaning I want a bag, I want this, I want that. And we're not content with what we have to figure out how to make that better. And that's a reality of your children and the things they indulge in. We have these kids, we riding around listening to Gucci Mane, Young Dolph, NBA Youngboy. They 5, 6 years old and can remember these things. So when they become 10 years old, now they rapping themselves. Everybody want to be a rapper now. 10 years old, they rapping. And what are they rapping about? Sex, money, and drugs. You're 10 years old. You don't even know nothing about sex, money, and drugs. But then again, look in your community. They're 10 years old, running around with guns, smoking weed, drinking. You think I'm lying? Go outside. Stand around and look. No, this is not your norm, but it's the truth. And it's something that has been needing to be said. And as I told you, no one on here in this internet is saying it. Not even Charleston White. But I'm saying it. And I'm only saying it to get other people to think about it, to get other people to talk about it, to get other people to spread the news. Because, yeah, this is something you have never seen before. I'm going to live and stand on that because I need your help to save my children, to save your own children. I need your help. Like, comment, share. That's what I'm on here for. That's what I'm trying to give you, peace amongst your community. I'm trying to give you your power back because you already have it. You just don't know that you have it in the way that you have it. You don't see it. But it's right here in front of you. It's what I'm talking to you on. In fact, it's simple as allowing your child to see what I am saying himself. Like, comment, share. Hashtag 9. Hashtag 9. It's infinite. That's why. Love is life. So speak it. Hate is death. Quit speaking it. You've been speaking it. Even me at 40 plus years old, there's some rap songs that I rap out, but I rap them out to myself or when I'm out in a club or something. But then again, that's what I'm telling you. When I go to the club, I realize why niggas get killed at the club because that's what they heard in the club. Like, you know what I'm saying? See, what I'm saying is this, right? My mama's age group, they went to the club, they heard slow jams, they danced, they lived, they laughed, they loved. They had me. Alcohol and drugs was involved, yeah, but they had me. Now you go to the club, you hear death, and it happens there. Death is trickling down into our culture to where it's affecting our churches and funerals and things of that nature now. When does it stop? Because life doesn't stop. Things evolve. Everything about life evolves. So if death is going to evolve, which is weird to think of, in fact, it's quite intriguing. Like, how would death evolve? Simple. In the manners that death works upon you. It's not a hard thought. It's not a hard answer. It's reality. That's what I work with. That's what I deal with. That's the way I see life in a realistic form. So I know you're going to scroll through this. I know this is going to get a lot of views by the end of the day. I know it's not going to get a lot of comments though. And I know it's not going to get a lot of shares. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. What is? What are you going to do the minute I end this live? The minute I end this live, you're going to move down your timeline and you're going to give something of negative energy, attention. And 9 times out of 10, you'll give it more energy than you give this. And in there lies your problem. And in there, you promote death. One thing I realized is you can't tell people about themselves. So I'm not trying to tell you where you're making a mistake. I'm trying to get you to understand how to keep your child from making a mistake. That's what I'm trying to do. Live your life. If you want to continue to listen to the music and continue to feed death to your culture, live your life by all means. But I do want to awaken you to how it's affecting me and mine's. Because when you speak death to the atmosphere, they hear it and promote it and end up dying within themselves. If not physically, mentally. It's sad to see the youth. They don't know what to do with their lives. I look at this youth, man. I think back when I was young, when we were 16, 17, 18 years old. Actually, I'm not even going to go to that. What I'll do is I'll go back 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That youth, they went and got some money. This youth right now, all they want to do is steal cars and tote guns. They don't care for money. They don't care for productivity nowhere. But no one is showing them that. Excuse me. No one is showing them that. They're not paying attention to that. That's not the hip thing to pay attention to them. I just heard stories where a couple people, their children just stole some major money off them. Like, that's crazy to me. But if the culture didn't teach them to chase a bag, they wouldn't have stole it from you. I said that not to be ignorant or put anybody on blast, but that was just to be said, to be realistic within the statement of me saying it. Because reality is what it is, man. You feeding life in the way you see it. NCIS plays a part in that. Your local news plays a part in that. Your local government, your national government, worldwide TV plays a part in that. Everything that you indulge in within your day plays a part in tomorrow. And once you take these things in, it becomes a part of your genealogy. It becomes a part of your data system, so to speak, your algorithm. So if you have a baby, think of it this way: the state you're in when you have a child, your child tacks on that mentality unconsciously. This is where you see your child do things that you used to do or that you have done. This is how it comes apart. I mean, comes to part. Excuse me. It comes to play, so to speak. Yeah, I wanted that to sit in, so I was quiet for a second because that's the truth. See, people want to know my view on herbalism and diets, so I'll give you a little bit of understanding. Herbalism has a lot of plus to it. In fact, it's meant to be your medicine, so it's all plus. In other words, as of now, maybe it's about to change, but that's something else. That's a different topic. Um, but the eating of meats is the greatest question. But I brought up herbalism first to show you herbal herbalism is your medicine. So if you eat on the meat and you have a heavy diet of good herbs, then your body will process it and push it through. This is where someone that can eat pork and live for 100 years, because your body is capable of processing whatever you put in it. But you have to balance it out with the positive. So to continue to think that you're not supposed to eat meat, that's a lie. Because if your body couldn't contain it, it wouldn't. This is where you get diseases. This is how you come up with ailments, by giving the body things that it can't consume, chemicals. It can't consume it. So it does get rid of it, but it lingers in the body. This is where herbalism comes from. I mean, this is what herbalism is for. Excuse me, I said that wrong. I got so many thoughts, it tends to back up in my head. I apologize for that. But herbalism is to negate the body's ailments, meaning the things that your body cannot process or push out. Because sweat is a way of your body pushing out its toxins. We know this. It is true that, uh, apes and things of that nature, gorillas, eat fruits and nuts, and they're very strong because of it. That is true, because of the protein and the vitamins they take. So, in other words, the more healthy you eat, yeah, it matters. I'm not telling you it doesn't matter, but if you don't want to clean up that type of diet, then you don't have to just consume more teas and things of that nature. That's what I've learned. And I've learned it to a point where the anatomy says that's the truth. The human biology says that's the truth. Because, like I said, man, I know people that smoke that turn out to live to 100. But there was always something that they always fed their body a lot of, meaning fruits and things of that nature. Like, people that smoke and that don't treat their body good, yeah, no. Mm-mm. It comes down to death. And then once you do so much damage to your body's like a computer, man. Once you do so much damage to it, it ain't gonna work right. Eventually, it's gonna quit working altogether. So, you know, my main topic, original topic of the day is gun violence in our communities. So if you just tapping in, but like I said, we like a community of stars. We're in correlation. We got to learn to work together though within that correlation. We got to learn to become that which we desire or we think we want, because we think we want peace within our communities, but we don't tap into the things that bring us peace in our communities. It's just fucking reality. And I'm telling you, I was once a part of that. I'm telling you, you ain't got to take it to the bank. In fact, don't. But being as though I know this information, I'm giving it to you and your children's children. Because remember, just because your child didn't grow up in the streets, don't mean that your grandchild won't. Because that's the norm. That is the norm. And until you change what is normal, these things are going to continue to happen. And it's sad to say it. So, like, comment, and share. So it becomes the norm. Hashtag 9, infinite love. That's what that means. 9 is an infinite number. And we need something to come together with or on. And the power of symbols. You really, you to really understand the power of symbols, you got to go learn it from a philosophical standpoint, a scientifical standpoint, is what that means. There's a theology behind symbols that it's not known to the average thinking person. But if you give love a symbol, like they gave it a peace sign, you know, which is really a Mercedes Benz sign, if you think about it, it's a symbol. Religion, it has a symbol. So why shouldn't peace and love have a symbol? You know, the heart, it has a symbol. You can use that instead of hashtag now, but just use it. Use the power that you have within yourself. Use the power to create life, speak life, and life will become because you'll hear it that way. Your mind will process it that way. You'll think that way because I demand people around me to speak that way. It's not that I go to these clubs and bars by mistake and talk this way. No, that's the type of person I am. That's the person I desire to be. So when you approach me, that's the way you approach me. That's how men work, right? So it takes a man to stay and stand up. And I'm gonna say this again. Thank you, women, for raising us. But it's time for the men in the community to raise the children. So sit back and hold men accountable with this video. Hold men accountable to this statement. Our children are out here dying because us men promote death. We are the leaders in our communities. We are the creators of life. Women are the givers of life. That's just a factor. If you don't think about it that way, look at it. Look at it. That's how I talk. Look at it. I want to give you a description. Look at it. What is semen? It's alive. It's what's alive. Semen is what's swimming, not the egg. There's billions of them. And in these billions of DNA women is the mentality of the man you date. Just swimming in him. Excuse me. So if you dating a thug and you have babies by that thug, it may not play out in his genome, his genealogy, but it will play out in your genes somewhere. This is what science has studied. This is what they use against you. Information. That's why it's a whole disinformation campaign to keep you from learning your truth, your own power. If I'm lying, once again, say it in the comments. This is the longest I've ever been on this thing. And I see I'm coming up on almost 2 hours. And the most views I've had so far in those 2 hours at one time is 5 people. That's retarded. I'm not saying nothing against anybody. I'm not talking death to the world. So I'm not getting no attention. And that's okay with me. Because I ain't on here to seek attention. But if you did give it some attention, like, comment, and share. Because like I said, it needs to be said. And there's no one saying it to this magnitude. There's no one on here on a consistent basis telling your children to put their gun down. But they got apps like Snoops and things like that that help your children to promote balance. YouTube to promote balance. Nowhere is there something consistent in life. Once again, Cat Williams was right. It's the year of truth. But before this year ends, we need to figure out what our truth is. Because the truth is, our children are going to keep dying until we make it different. Truth is, politics is going to continue to play you until you think different. Truth is, people are going to continue to be indoctrinated to be a slave until they learn to think different. I don't really care if you like what I'm saying or not. It's the truth. Someone needs to say it. And I'm saying it to save my own child's life. Because once again, I'm not their friends on Facebook. Maybe one or two, but not everybody. Not all my kids. But at the same time, I don't want them to make the mistake of picking up a gun, shooting somebody, and having to live with that. Nor do I want them to be killed, and I have to live with that. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste your energy. I want you to be happy in life. I want you to be able to live out you being proudful of the things that you have accomplished in life. But if you bury your child, nothing matters but that at that moment. So let that thought sink in. Now, what you gonna do with the understanding of it all? That's what it comes down to. How will you use the information? Because that's what wisdom is. Learning to apply the information you've learned. What does it take to save your child's life? What does it take to save those that you love from the harms of this world? Because it ain't just gun violence in our communities that plague our communities. But like I said, I'm coming to you as a man is supposed to, but men are not doing on this here internet, demanding a change instead of asking for it, demanding a difference in our communities. Right. Commitment is definitely the key. And I'm committed to this, cuz I've been committed to this. I've been committed to this for years. And this is what I plan to give you on this here internet. How to make the world better, not just our communities. Because I realize the power in this internet has that very capability to make the world a better place. And I need your help. I don't care for no money. I don't care to be seen, but I do care to help people. And I do care to watch people succeed in life. I'm an empath. That's how people that are, or excuse me, who live with empathy think and work. I like to say, I'm a container of information because I tack on a lot of information and I know how to process it well. And that's where I'm telling you, I see life in a very beautiful way. I just want to share it with you. But to be able to share it with you, we have to be able to see that life can truly be beautiful in a whole. So I know I got a long road ahead of me no matter what. But I need your help because until this becomes the norm, our kids are going to keep being killed out here in these streets. Our kids don't even want to go to school no more. And I don't really blame them. Look at what they teaching these kids. How to perform oral sex. That's okay. I wouldn't want to go to school either. You ain't about to teach me how to be gay and then tell me I was born that way. You're retarded. That's just the truth. Like I said, I don't care if you want to hear it. I really don't. The truth is what's going to be that last. Because at the end of the day, when reality hits you in the face, that's all you can deal with. But that's how men are supposed to work, right? We're the logical thinking creatures, right? So if you the logical excuse me, if you the logical thinking creature, then you are the one that's supposed to break down the math and the science. That's logic. Science. It's called theology. In theory, things work like this. That's it. So, in theory, how do we save our children? In theory, how do we change the norm in our community? In theory, how do you change the norm on this here internet? Hashtag not like, comment, share. Simple. Change the conversation. Change the things that you allow represent your conversation. You can't turn on 2 Chainz, bang it all day, drinking, smoking weed, and then tell your child not to do the same thing. Someone needs to say it. Why not me? It's reality, right? The reality of life. We got to tap into it. That's love, man. We all chase universal love to some extent or some form or fashion. Some people use money to get it. Some people use sex to get it. Some people use manipulation tactics to get it. Excuse me, once again. But all this does is continue to feed the ignorance because we don't know how to use these things to promote life. We wasn't taught how to use these things to promote life. We only promote the moment. We don't promote the existence. And one thing about it, life is going to continue to exist because all you are is pure energy. And over time, if you tap in, I will show you directly all this information I'm talking about. What's up, cuz? What's going on? How you been, man? You need to holler at me too. You my guy, man. Reach out, speak every now and again, man. I haven't seen you in around in a minute. But yeah. You wanna get on here, yo? You can get on here. You wanna get on here? Matter of fact, let me figure out. That's what I don't know. So let me figure that out in your face. Yeah, let's do it. I got like another half an hour. I can get us some attention now, I guess, because I don't know how to do this part. So let me interact with you. You know, let's talk about something. I want to see who want to talk about something else or what you want to talk about. Until then, I'm gonna continue to talk. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to talk about street violence until then. But I do need to build up some more content on my pages and my networks or whatever. So tap in. Come on, like, comment, share. Tell me where I said something that you didn't agree with or was wrong that you heard so far. Tell me something that don't make sense. We can talk about that if you like. I want to make life beautiful. I want to provide in life. I'm a man. I want to take and prove to the people I love by loving them as men do, making the world a better place for them. This is just one of the ways that men can do it. There, I said it. And once again, ladies, thanks for raising us. But hold men accountable from now on. Hold us all accountable from now on. Because until men become leaders again, and I mean the elder men, the niggas my age that toted guns at some point, sold drugs at some point, been in the penitentiary at some point, that have escaped death and life in the penitentiary, or even life in the penitentiary. Because I know people who have gotten life in the penitentiary and was able to reverse it and come home. They have a powerful voice, far more powerful than mine. So reach out to them, talk to them, get them on here to talk about it. Like I said, if you know anybody that talks this way, and if they're available when I'm on here, share my live with them, tag them to my live so they can get on here. We can talk live together. Because to do this, you need a unified front. Shout out to Roy Blankenship and B Pep. But yeah, that's where I get that from. The unified front. Because that's what it is. That's what's necessary. You know? We gotta put our egos aside, man. Put it pride to the side, man. Cause see, I've been a part of so many different men's groups and communities, but nothing ever really comes of them. And I'm tired of doing things that nothing ever comes out of. I learned to be a street nigga. I was taught to be a street nigga. And I taught others to learn and be taught to be street niggas. Now I want to teach them something different because I have the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding to teach them something different. I got struggles with my own children. Like I said, I'm on here for that. That's worth all the energy I got. That's worth all the life I got. Nothing else matters, man. Because if I bury my child, I can't sit there and say I didn't do all that I was supposed to or all I could to save them if I didn't take 5 minutes out to like, comment, share, or even speak this way on the internet. Because the more they see these things and hear these things, the more it becomes the norm. It's just reality. It's just the way energy works. One is going to overpower the other. Love or hate. And right now, guess what is outpowering life? Death. That means hate is winning by all means. By all means. And it's sad to say that we don't give enough time and effort to what we got going on. But the ignorance of these young people think this ain't gonna happen to my child. Bullshit. I'm not gonna raise my child to be like you or anything. Man, bullshit. You're already doing it. Don't even know it. Like I said, you're in the car, you're playing these songs, and mentally they tacking them in, singing them and reverberate. I mean, excuse me. And I can't spit it out. Reiterating it right back to you. I get tongue tied sometimes. Like, you got to forgive me for that. Like, my mind would be in a rush to say certain things before I forget it. And I get to stuttering and that messes it all up, you know? But yeah, that's just reality, man. That's just how things work. It's a reflection. The way you move, it's a reflection. The way you think, it's a reflection. But it ain't a mirror, it's an image. It's not a mirror. But we can use that if you want to say it's a reflection. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is you ain't the one living it out. It's your child. So it's not a reflection. Because when you look in the mirror, you see the things that are upon you, not what you thrust on someone else. And that's where we're going wrong by giving these things energy. Like I said, you're sitting in the car, you listening to these things with a 2-year-old in the background. When they 5, they know how to sing the words better than they can talk sentences. When they 10, they get to talking this way with their friends. And it's new music to educate that. When they 15, 16 years old, they living it to its fullest because there's no elder men in the community that demand different of them by being different in the community. The men don't control the outcome of the neighborhood no more because the men don't set the standards in our neighborhood no more. And it's not to once again take any credit from away from you mothers. Thank you for raising us, but you shouldn't have had to raise children, logical children, on their own, meaning boys, on your own. Excuse me for that. A lot of these problems are thrusted on our communities because of fatherless children. That's just a fact. Whether you want to agree with it or not, I don't even care. I'm not here to appease the way you feel. I'm not here to care if you even care what I'm saying. I'm here because I'm trying to save my own child's life and can't always reach them by my own words. But I know you can because I know sometimes greater influence happen outside my child, in my house, and my surroundings. And I said it the way I meant it. If you don't understand it, figure it out. But as I said, men, we're not good fathers, or we're not the best fathers we could be because we're not teaching our children how to take control of their lives completely, meaning how to be absolute men, meaning how not to take on this or adapting that or thinking and living this way. That's how we got here. They quit. They quit letting the men be in the house. Yeah, they didn't suggest it. They knew what they were doing. That's why. That's the only reason why I'm saying it the way I'm saying, because they knew exactly what they were doing. Like I said, they got scientists to sit down and think. Theology, philosophical about life. If you ever read The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli, that's what that was telling you. If you ever read it, I've read it. Very powerful statement. In fact, the reason why I read it was because of Tupac. That goes to show the influence on rap music. I mean, I've heard the name before Tupac, but when he tacked on Machiavelli, and I understood his mind frame. I understood that his mind frame. I mean, I'm a nut for philosophy. So to really understand what I mean, I guess you would have to have some understanding of how philosophy and the whole works. But when he tacked on Machiavelli, I wanted to know why, because Machiavelli faked his own death. So I wanted to know, are you going to fake your own death? You know. But then when I read it, I was wowed by it because it described how kings can continue to be kings. And then I thought about slavery, which I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna get into that real quick. And if you on here, please do the math, do the history, do the research yourself, and then spread this because it matters to a detail. It matters. It might not seem like it, but trust me, it matters. They tell you we were enslaved for 400 years. That's a lie. According to their books, it was only 339 years. It does matter. What is it? I want to 60 plus years shouldn't make a difference. No, it does. Well, somebody's gonna say, well, they enslaved us after apartheid and this and that, and we still basically enslaved. So whether it was 400 years or not, no, it matters. It matters because it matters how they wrote things into existence. That's the point. Because if you take away this detail, remember they revise everything in life as far as texts go, including your Bible. And I ain't talking against your Bible. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't want you to not believe in God. I'm just telling you the truth. They revise your Bible like they revise school texts, school books. Meaning, if you take this little bit of information out now, it'll be this much gone later. That's just the fact, whether you accept it or not. So them telling you you were enslaved for 400 years is a lie. Because 1526 to what was it? Oh man. I forgot the matter of fact, you know what? I could sit here and plague myself to remember it. But you can do your own research. I did ask you to do that. Because I did the research to come up with the math. That's why I know it's 339 years to a T. Exclamation point. I mean, yeah, there's circumstances and situations around it. Yeah, of course. I'm not an idiot. I'm not stupid. But what I am saying is, let's just stop and think. What if it never happened the way they said it happened? Because if black people were on every continent, do you need to take us to each continent to populate the world? Because in other words, that's what you did. If you said Christopher Columbus stole us from Africa and took us to the Americas, whether it was north or south, doesn't even really matter. You're basically repopulating the planet because they want credit of having black people where they already were. So that's what happens when you rewrite history or write history in a whole, because we didn't have need for books. We didn't have a need for books. Our information came from the elders, whether you was in Africa or the Americas, because the Indians, their elders was the containers of information. So these things work in correlation. Once again, this is how you use these things to come back to a powerful community, a powerful people, just understanding where they lie to you at. And you could thank Trump for that, because until now, you didn't really reiterate fake news. But the minute he said it, you should have questioned it. And most people didn't. That's why Trump wasn't your logical thinking choice. But like I said, Trump's not your choice either. He can't save you. He's not here to save you. He's here to build the corporation. It's just whether he's trying to build America or not. It's the only question. But he ain't here to save you. And even if you think he's here to save you, he can only do so for 4 years and he's done. So what next? What after that? Who's going to save you after that? Someone you don't know of, or yourself? Deep question. But that's what it takes, a deep understanding. And most people don't have time to think deeply. I do. So let me help you with that. Like, comment, and share. #9. That's all it takes. The things that you'd be surprised, the mental things that I say on my page get 1 or 2 likes. Should get 1,000 likes on some of the things I say, just because it'd be so realistic. Not because I care for the likes, but just because it'd be so realistic. It'd be too deep for people. And then a lot of times I use my own self-reflection to tell it to you, because I think deeply about myself and the things that I go through. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm full of gas, but excuse me again. I love reality, man. I love reality. I love the space I live in right now, because I had to figure out who I was all over again. And in that journey, I take the information that I already had and build a picture of it to see how it fits together. And I see this here internet is going to change in a matter of months, years, maybe. Let's hope it be years. For the sake of this, let's hope it be years. Because AI is going to become a thinking tool on its own. And they're not going to allow you, they can't allow you to figure out how to use all the information on this here internet and put it together and be able to draw a picture out of that. They can't let you think that way, because then you're thinking outside the box and you'll realize how much they have lied to you, how much they have deceived you, how much they led you astray. Trust me. But then again, like I said earlier in this video, and I know I've been on here for a while, I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. But like I said at the beginning of the video, the most lucrative thing on the internet is ASMR. If you caught that, when I get off this or whenever you get time in the day, go back and look at the algorithm of #ASMR and see what it is and see how ridiculous it is. I ain't knocking people for the way they making money. I definitely ain't knocking that. Get your money, live your life. I love that. If that's how you get money, get it. As long as you hold integrity and all that shit and don't feel bad about it, great. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to speak against the destruction of life. So if you are part of that, great. because it's calming to people. So great. But a lot of it is idiotic. Like, how do you make millions of dollars just snapping your fingers and whispering into the microphone or playing with toys into a microphone? Because that's all ASMR is, just talking or doing something around a microphone. But tell me, how does this help change the narrative of life in a whole? It doesn't. So at some part of your life and some part of your day, something like this needs to be a part of it. And that's all I wanted to do, is give you something else to think about. Because that's all I can do. That's all I want to do. Just give you something else to think about. Because when you begin to think about something else, it becomes a part of your DNA. When it becomes a part of your DNA, it becomes a part of your seed's DNA, one way or another, whether you pass it down mentally and verbally, or you pass it down through your sperm and egg. It's only questions. But if you do not promote life, do not be upset where death reoccurs. If you do not learn to change the idea of life, it will continue. And with that being said, I spent a lot of time on here today. I want to thank you for giving me your attention and your time. Please, once for the last time today, like, comment, share. Hashtag 9. 9 is infinite. That's what that means, man. Energy starts from 1 through 9, but 9 is the infinite number. It's the greater number. There's no number after 9. It's from 0 to 0. There's no number after 9. And that's the way life works. It's energy bouncing around inside the egg. That kills your flat earth theory if you're really listening. That's what that did. That just killed your flat earth theory if you're listening. Because infinite energy needs somewhere to go. And when it doesn't have nowhere to go, it dies. Not as long as it's inside this circle though. Because that's how math works. 1 through 9 and goes back to 1. There is no number after 9. It doesn't go to 10. It just goes to 0, which goes back to 1 if you're paying that attention. I mean, for math purposes, you build another column. But at the end of that column is the number 9. And then you build another column. And at the end of that one, it's the number 9. This is why I keep saying love is infinite. The number 9 is infinite. So, with that being said, I'm your host, Darnell Henderson. Like, comment, and share. Back at you, baby. Thank you, YouTube, for whatever attention you give me. I know it ain't gonna be 2 hours, but I had to get my watch time up. So hopefully this works. Thank you for tapping in with me, man.